Singapore President Halimah Yacob has delivered her address at the opening of the second session of the country's 14th Parliament. In her speech, she sets out the government's priorities and policies for the remainder of its 5-year term. Parliament had resumed following a mid-term break. Mdm Halimah told the House the first key priority is to expand opportunities for all. Now, this means ensuring a broad and open meritocracy, which requires a rethinking to the approach of education and work. Now, the second priority is to improve social safety nets and help Singaporeans cope better with disruptions that they may face in life. This comes at the backdrop of an uncertain world and faster technological change. The third priority is to build a city that's green and livable. The government wants to continue transforming the urban landscape so that people with diverse backgrounds can connect and interact better. And finally, Mdm Halimah highlighted the need for shared responsibility in nation building. She says that everyone should have a stake in the country with no one left behind. It's the main purpose of the Forward Singapore exercise, which has garnered feedback from more than 14,000 citizens over the last 6 months.
This exercise reaffirms the core values that we hold dear as Singaporeans: fairness, inclusivity, mutual support, and the desire to give back to society. We want every person to be treated equally with dignity and respect. We want a Singapore where everyone belongs and every citizen has a chance to achieve his or her fullest potential. We want a society that values and supports families, where we care for and help one another and pitch in to make a difference to our community. These values will shape the government's agenda.
President Halimah Yacob has stressed the need for Singapore to rethink its approach to education and work. This is to ensure a broader and more open meritocracy which works well for all Singaporeans. She warned that stratification weakens society over generations. So to combat this, the government will expand opportunities throughout life for all, while those who start out with less will be given more resources.
We will provide everyone with access to a good education and many chances in life to learn and improve. But let us not be unwittingly drawn into an educational arms race and end up worse off as a society. We must also re-examine how society rewards different skills and talents and recognizes the full range of pathways to success. We should accord greater value to those who are skilled with their hands and contribute through their technical and practical abilities, as well as those with the social and empathetic traits to excel in jobs such as caregiving or community service.
Freelance musician Sky Shen tells Chloe Chu that he looks forward to the expanded opportunities for persons with disabilities like himself.
At a mountaintop, you reach out for the stars. Your eyes shine as brightly as they are.
Like many performers, Sky Shen's experiences have shaped his music.
I felt like as a person with disabilities growing up, I didn't have the same experiences in romantic love as my peers. So I wanted to show that we have similar human desires and feelings as everyone else.
The 29-year-old started composing music when he was 13, but it took a lot of support from various quarters before he was able to produce an album.
It was only when I got the award from SPD that I had the opportunity to try to pursue music, which I had been doing just as a hobby up till then.
He also received help from ArtDis, a non-profit organization which creates opportunities for persons with disabilities in the arts. For instance, it offered its studio to Sky when he needed to rehearse. Corporates like CapitaLand and Singapore Pools also chipped in through donations and organising concerts featuring persons with disabilities.
There's a lot of help from organizations who believe in us, but there's only so much that they can do. I guess to fully really build an inclusive society, you need to move beyond these safe spaces to create an ecosystem of inclusion where everyone is able to function alongside everyone else.
Aside from his music, Mr. Shen also does freelance copywriting on the side. While he feels some employers could be more inclusive, he's optimistic that there'll be even more opportunities for PWDs like himself.
In the past, a lot of the focus was how do we help these people survive? And now I think I'm starting to see a shift where they are thinking, how can we help them live in meaningful and diverse ways? And I think that is a great thing that we need more of.
In the meantime, Mr. Shen is working on another album focusing on mental wellness. He hopes that with continued support from his family and the community, he'll be able to launch it soon.
Our plans to relook approaches to education and work have been welcomed by some MPs. CNA's Michelle Teo speaks with Patrick Tay, who is the chairperson of the Government Parliamentary Committee, or GPC, for Education.
Mr. Tay, to you, what does an open meritocracy mean?
On this particular topic on open meritocracy, I think skills and the developing talents has been one big important piece. So I think I'm glad to hear that the skills future agenda continues, and probably in the reprised version, so that this particular emphasis on careers and developing careers and continuing education and training, not just at the start, but throughout the entire lifespan of a person. I think this is particularly important because we want to level up everyone and to make sure no one is left behind just because maybe he's a late bloomer or he pick up skills later in his journey, or perhaps through some challenge or abilities they are not able to level up. So I think I'm glad and welcome that we will continue in this journey and create more opportunities to level up everyone.
And what needs to be done to re-examine the way we value skills and training in our workplace?
I think this part on continuing education and training is particularly important, not just mainstream education but post-mainstream. The continuing education and training and the embracing of lifelong learning, particularly important to level up everyone and also to ensure that they are well looked after in various stages of their careers and life stages. I think this is very, very important. I think we have been in the labour movement lobbying for training, upskilling. I think this will be in one key agenda of the labour movement, and I'm glad of the government now. And I'm sure that in many areas we can ensure all our workers stay ready, relevant and resilient, ready to the new skills, relevant for the new jobs and resilient to the many multitude of changes and curveballs.